This is Meghan Markle's sickest stunt yet.
I mean, other than looking like a toilet roll, Meghan Markle is contributing absolutely nothing.
Maybe Harry's no use to Meghan anymore. Maybe the divorce rumors are actually true.
Meghan Markle is always attempting to, shall we say, build relationships with very, very, very rich.
The invoice that allegedly shattered the illusion was never meant to see daylight. That's what a Paris hotel insider reportedly whispered after documents connected to Meghan Markle's Fashion Week stay surfaced in the press. Thousands of euros in penthouse charges, designer fittings, private security, luxury transport, all reportedly covered by a mystery pair whose identity was not publicly disclosed. At first glance, it looked like another flashy celebrity expense story, the kind tabloids inflate for clicks. A glamorous trip, couture perks, nothing unusual. But as journalists dug deeper, the numbers stopped lining up.
Just can't give her anything else anymore. He served his purpose. His purpose is over. So for her, it's time to move on.
The brand Balenciaga, which Meghan was rumored to be representing, reportedly denied sponsoring her stay. Her team went silent. Meanwhile, leaked invoices allegedly pointed to a completely different pair. A man, a company, and a paper trail that stretched far beyond Paris and into elite Hollywood circles. Insiders claimed the fallout was tense. Meghan was reportedly emotional. Prince Harry, according to sources, was blindsided and furious. But beyond the personal drama sat a larger question. If Meghan didn't fund that luxury suite herself, who did?
Like Meghan will always stay with the man if there's no better option. I know that they have troubles in the marriage. I understand from now 6 separate reliable sources that Harry called in law.
Why would someone risk their own reputation just to keep her image glowing at Paris Fashion Week? Because every line item on those invoices, every authorization code, every signature, hinted at something bigger than a quiet sponsorship. It suggested how carefully curated the illusion may have been, and what it actually cost to maintain it. When the documents began leaking, they didn't just expose a hotel bill, they ignited a storm. Early October 2025.
Walking openly in crowds, which is just hilarious considering that Harry comes here every month or so, demanding that the taxpayer pays for his security because he claims that him and the children and Meghan...
Cameras flashed along Avenue Montaigne as Meghan stepped out of a black SUV wrapped in custom couture and absolute confidence. This was positioned as her comeback moment. A Fashion Week reset built on elegance, rebirth, and control. But behind that polished smile, another narrative was allegedly unraveling inside the hotel walls.
It is so odious, it's beyond belief.
Absolute media manipulation. But I thought tonight this was really ridiculous. These are two really...
A staff accountant, reportedly under growing media scrutiny, quietly shared scanned invoices with a French entertainment journalist. Within hours, whispers turned into documentation. Those receipts didn't just show expenses, they showed contradictions. One booking was allegedly listed under a luxury brand. Another appeared under a Los Angeles-based corporation.
She'll find a way to bounce past him to some other taker who might actually just love the guy. She will take her royal kids, who can still go by prince and princess, and find...
Dates didn't align. Authorization codes conflicted. Payment details didn't match public statements. When Balenciaga was contacted again, the response was reportedly firm. "We did not sponsor her stay." That single reported line detonated across French media. Blurred screenshots of invoices hit tabloids and investigative blogs. Online sleuths dissected every penthouse charge, from suite upgrades to a 3,200 euros stylist retainer.
Wow, let's make a new Netflix series and story out of Harry's demise.
For the first time since stepping away from royal life, Meghan appeared to lose control of the narrative. Questions multiplied. Who paid? Who approved? Who leaked it? Paris Fashion Week transformed overnight from glamour to controversy. And the answers weren't on the red carpet. They were buried in paperwork. In the weeks leading up to Fashion Week, Meghan's reappearance had been choreographed down to the smallest detail. Her team framed the trip as empowerment.
During her Paris Fashion Week appearance, which was another desperate and craven attempt to grab the limelight, while William was getting some good...
A global tastemaker reclaiming her image after months of relative silence. Every photo was calculated, the wardrobe curated, security discreet, media access tightly managed. Her arrival at the Plaza Athene wasn't just accommodation. It was branding.
This woman is really, really not oppressed. She's opportunistic.
Fashion editors reportedly described her look as regal yet reborn. Publicists circulated phrases like modern grace and humanitarian glamour. For a moment, the illusion held. Even critics admitted she understood reinvention. Social media reposted her images at scale. Entertainment outlets hyped the rumored Balenciaga partnership as proof she was back inside fashion's inner circle. Behind the scenes, however, image control allegedly intensified. Hotel staff signed NDAs. Photographers were directed to specific angles. Discussions of costs were reportedly off limits. From the outside, it looked effortless. Inside the industry, doubt crept in. Editors whispered no brand had publicly confirmed hosting her. Press briefings didn't align. One stylist reportedly said her team spoke like ambassadors but signed like freelancers. The show continued, until one document slipped out. That single booking entry cracked the narrative wide open. It didn't match the fantasy. The unraveling began quietly. An anonymous email attachment sent to a European journalist. Inside, scanned hotel invoices with digital timestamps detailing every charge from Meghan's stay. At first glance, routine, then unsettling. Guest information reportedly didn't match public positioning. Payment authorization allegedly pointed to a third party, not her foundation, not her media office. Each page seemed to tell a slightly different story. Private transport fees, designer fittings, late-night room service, initials that didn't match known staff. One handwritten note reportedly reading confirmed by sponsor became the spark. Within hours, bloggers and investigative accounts lined up timelines. Screenshots circled inconsistencies. What once appeared effortless now looked meticulously financed behind the curtain. And the silence from her team grew louder. Statements paused. A publicist reportedly stopped responding. Scheduled appearances quietly disappeared. One question dominated every platform. Who actually paid the bill? Then speculation escalated. Headlines widened. Rumors of unnamed sponsors, private investors, quiet favors. The paperwork refused to disappear. Just when the mystery seemed as deep as it could go, another name allegedly surfaced. The documents reportedly showed only a set of initials. Brief, easy to overlook. But journalists traced digital signatures, payment processors, offshore routing patterns, and one connection stood out. The same electronic signature reportedly linked to past media investments tied back to a wealthy Los Angeles figure, someone from Meghan's pre-royal social orbit. Insiders referred to him only as Mr. X. According to sources, he may have facilitated payments through a company account to avoid public association. That shifted the conversation from expense to motive. Why fund her stay? Loyalty? Influence? Old connections? When the first article referencing Mr. X went live, aides reportedly described tension behind the scenes. Meghan was said to be shaken, scrambling to understand who exposed the link, convinced the arrangement had been discreet. Prince Harry, according to insiders, was blindsided, believing the trip had been handled cleanly and transparently. Now doubt crept into everything, and the questions were only getting louder. Trust suddenly felt fragile. Shared decisions felt questionable. Even past media appearances were being re-examined under a harsher light. What began as a glamorous weekend in Paris reportedly collapsed into something far heavier, an emotional battlefield built on invoices, speculation, and secrets traded like currency. As more details surfaced, subtle cracks allegedly appeared inside a marriage once presented as unshakable unity. The moment the story broke, the world moved faster than any damage control strategy could possibly contain. Overnight, hashtags exploded. Headlines screamed words like betrayal and hidden sponsor. Opinion panels dissected every leaked document. What started as quiet curiosity turned into a full digital wildfire. Meghan's representatives reportedly issued denials, describing the coverage as mischaracterized and inaccurate. But observers noted something felt off. The tone lacked its usual confidence. The response didn't calm the storm. It seemed to fuel it. Within hours, archived press releases allegedly disappeared. Interviews were quietly removed from syndication platforms. Promotional fashion images vanished without explanation. Industry watchers began asking a new question, not about the invoices, but about the cleanup. Why was the narrative being scrubbed so aggressively? It looked, some said, as if pieces of the internet were being wiped in real time. Inside the inner circle, tension reportedly escalated. Insiders described frantic phone calls, emergency meetings, late-night strategy sessions where every possible response was rehearsed. Deny? Clarify? Stay silent? Each option carried risk. Silence could look like guilt. Denial might invite deeper scrutiny. Clarification could expose more than intended. And the truth, whatever it was, appeared to be outrunning control. The once celebrated couple now seemed different in public appearances. Cameras caught polite distance replacing warmth. Smiles that looked practiced rather than natural. Anonymous sources claim Prince Harry learned about the alleged Mr. X connection through media coverage, not privately. If true, that detail cut deeper than any headline. Behind-the-scenes elite doors reportedly began closing quietly. Invitations stalled. Partnerships paused for reassessment. Collaborations were reconsidered. The tone in Hollywood shifted from fascination to fatigue. The message was subtle but unmistakable. Once a reputation fractures, it rarely regains the same shine. For Meghan Markle, the emotional toll was reportedly immediate. Sources described private tears, moments of overwhelm, a raw fear that the image she had worked so deliberately to rebuild had cracked overnight. Friends allegedly advised her to lay low. Let the noise pass. Wait for the cycle to move on. But the story was already moving without her. The Paris comeback had transformed into a global spectacle. Its shockwaves were reportedly hitting every corner. Career, marriage, public perception. And yet, even amid the chaos, one question refused to disappear. Was this simply another celebrity scandal, or evidence of something deeper? Scandals fade, but patterns leave marks. As days passed, analysts began spotting what they described as a repeating rhythm beneath the Paris controversy. This wasn't just about hotel invoices anymore. It was about reinvention, and the cost of it. Observers pointed out that each chapter of her public life seemed to follow a similar arc. Grand entrance, high praise, sudden unraveling. Different city, different cast, different controversy, but a familiar ending. For some, Paris became the moment the pattern could no longer be ignored. Even longtime defenders began hesitating, asking how so many contradictions could emerge from one tightly managed narrative. Was it media distortion, bad timing, or something more strategic? Critics framed it as calculated attention economics. Supporters framed it as survival in a hostile spotlight. Some insiders claimed every move, whether intentional or not, kept her name at the center of global conversation. Admiration and outrage functioning as twin engines of visibility. Others insisted she was simply unlucky, punished for defiance, targeted for refusing to conform. But facts, once documented, have weight, and each controversy echoed the last. Control, exposure, retreat, return. Even silence appeared to follow a rhythm. Disappear, reappear, reset. As commentators debated intent versus accident, another thought began surfacing more frequently in think pieces and analyst reports. If every comeback carries a shadow, what happens when the shadow becomes the story itself? Maybe this wasn't chaos at all. Maybe it was choreography. Because in the world of modern fame, accidents rarely repeat this precisely. Patterns don't form by coincidence. And suddenly the question wasn't just who paid for Paris, it was how much truth was still negotiable. By the time the storm slowed, the damage was already sealed. What began as a luxury Fashion Week appearance became something far heavier. A mirror reflecting not just Meghan Markle but the machinery of image itself. Every reveal, every denial, every emotional reaction peeled back another layer of how celebrity branding actually works. The photos that once radiated confidence now carried a different tone. The smile looked tighter, the posture more guarded. What once read as power now felt fragile, almost haunted. Observers pointed out the subtle shift, the weight behind every public appearance, the quiet tension that cameras couldn't fully hide. It wasn't simply about losing control of a story, it was about realizing the story no longer belonged to her. Paris stopped being a trip. It became a symbol, a reminder that in the empire of reputation, every move leaves a paper trail. Every favor has fingerprints, and every illusion eventually comes due. Maybe the public forgets, maybe it doesn't. But the questions don't fade easily. Who leaked the invoices? Why would someone allegedly finance her return only for it to collapse under scrutiny? And if every carefully constructed narrative eventually cracks, what's truly holding the foundation together? The official version may stand, or it may not. but the pattern feels familiar. Reinvention, exposure, retreat, return. In the age where image equals currency, perception moves faster than reality. Admiration and suspicion travel side by side. And once doubt enters the frame, it rarely exits quietly. Because here's the deeper issue. When branding becomes identity, defending the image becomes survival. And survival mode reshapes every choice. Was Paris an accident? Or was it the latest chapter in a high-stakes balancing act between visibility and vulnerability? The truth may never be fully confirmed. But the ripple effect is undeniable. Reputation isn't just built in public, it's negotiated in private. And once those private negotiations leak into the spotlight, control evaporates. What remains isn't glamour, it's consequence. So maybe this wasn't just about a hotel bill. Maybe it was about the cost of maintaining a myth in a world that fact-checks everything. And once that cost becomes visible, the spotlight changes. Because in modern fame, you don't just pay in money, you pay in trust. And trust, once fractured, is the hardest currency to recover. If you want to go deeper into the patterns behind the headlines, check out our previous investigation linked on the channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. This is Vintage Pulse, where the truth hides between the headlines. See you in the next one.